you the sort of person to jack after those green and red bars on Dota buff? Want to brag about your KDA average? Dude, boyo, play Zeus. Zeus is far too good. I mean, even I have above a 60% win rate with him, and I remember playing him way back when I was new, all those years ago. I have a 62% win rate, and for most of these games, I didn't even realize he gave true sides. With Zeus being so one note, I bet you're all surprised that his tier 1 counters are all heroes who counter magical burst. So obviously in there is my boy Huskar, as well as Anti-Mage, Lifestealer, TA, Visage, Meepo, Viper, Ember, Rubik, Pudge, any item that builds from Damn, this triangle is getting crowded. Let's just say any hero with a form of innate magic or burst resistance and move on. Tier 2 counters are any hero who can just run right at you and beat you down while you try and hobble away with your lack of escape and snail-paced movement speed. Tier 3 is just disablers and heroes who punish you for using your spells like Silencer and Pugna. Zeus, on the other hand, counters heroes who depend on invis and blink initiations. Poor Sand King, he does both. Also scattered among the rungs are squishy heroes, especially heroes who supplement their squishiness with armor rather than health. He's brutal against Lunas, TBs, Timbersaws, and because of his innate positioning and long-range mini-stunning and lightning bolt, he counters heroes with channeling spells like Enigma, Crystal Maiden, and Sand King again. So if he's countered by so many and counters so few, why the high win rate? As with every only way to play guide I've made and will make, this guide can be found in a Steam link in the description. Subscribe to it and it'll appear in your games. Before we get into this, let's talk about some Dota theory. In the words of that shopkeeper guy, what does a hero truly need? Now, to fully understand how to begin theory crafting without using the classic case of trial and error, let's think on that. In a really bare bones conversation, the average hero needs durability, mana, mobility, damage, and disables. These 5 buzzwords make up nearly every hero's endgame kit. Take for example, Wraith King. Wraith King has durability, has disables. Therefore, naturally his build calls upon blinks for mobility, armlets for damage, mangoes for mana. Every hero gets closer and closer to looking like each other the later a game goes. A game goes for 3 hours and you have a series of faceless carries with abyssals and sheepsticks, blinks and force staffs, hearts and bloodstones. And nearly every hero has a kit and supplements the weak points of that kit with his item build. So why is all of that video padding in a guide to Zeus? Well, Zeus has damage. And only damage. Therefore, theoretically, we should pick up items that quickly fill those 4 other gaps. So let's see if we do. To start though, we open with 2 clarities. This is the bog standard build for Zeus and only Zeus. We leave base with 525 gold to our name. Our aim is bottle 660. On average, we'd get 38 gold from each creep and every 30 seconds get 50 gold passively. Because we left the base with so much money, netting any 2 of the 4 creeps of the first wave gives us our bottle. And bottle's mana is important in that it's the way we last hit for the most part. Our boots of choice, yet again, are arcanes, where you can totally get energy booster first if need be. Drop it every time you bottle up. So here we go. What items would you build for a hero who only has damage? Let's take a shot in the dark and pick a random item and let's see what it gives us. Oh, maybe Yules. Oh, hey, would you look at that? Yules has a disabling component, good mana, and an escape, and mobility. Just purely theoretically, Yules is a great item for Zeus. So let's go it. Same thing goes for Force Staff and Blink. A hero who only needs to catch up with the target to kill him would seem to naturally want either or both. Octarine Core rounds us out, filling another item slot and giving us durability, regen, and the ability to have all 3 mobility items we already have more spammable. So why no Veil, or Aetherlands, or Ags? Well, I didn't say don't get them, just try to keep in mind what Zeus has and what Zeus doesn't have. Veil gives mana, damage, and durability and armor. Ags, again, does pretty much the exact same thing as Veil, except it's way more expensive. So never get these? Not quite. In every game where you're trying to build to fill the voids your hero has, the enemy does the same. Blade mails, BKBs, pipes. I can't think of a more godly way to counter pipes than to just buy even more damage. So everything has its place, except Ags, because that's 4,200 gold for an item that gives you 100 more damage. If you've got an Elk on your team, hey, great, otherwise skip it. While we're on the subject of situational items, Hurricane Pike makes you more durable and builds out of 4 staff, meaning no extra occupied item slots. Rod of Atos is great too, BKB is sometimes a necessity. Pick up a casual Windlace and Mango for an early game boost, pick up a Scythe for a late game disable, and if you bought Refresher before, it's even more viable. A special mention goes out to Cloak, Hood of Defiance, and Pipe of Insight. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And with Blade Mail being so prevalent these days, picking up Zeus's most hated item and using it to counter yourself is a totally okay strat for me. Or you could go Heaven's Hellbit and Miona and be the true god of thunder. As with every... No, wait, I've already done that. Why did I do that in the item build section? That's weird. Zeus is the only hero in the game that playing against could actually lead to a heart attack. That frightening clap and those flashing lights must have killed someone at some point, so keep that in mind. Is the MMR really worth some 80-year-old Dota player's life? Speaking of segues, my build for Zeus goes as follows. Q level 1, E level 2, max W, then max E, ult whenever we can. I can only fathom one reason to get anything but Q level 1, and that's to check on a level 1 Roche, which never happens these days. We want to max our lightning bolt as it's the best one-on-one skill we have, and for mid lane that's what we need, but we'd only really want to start using it at get 3 levels into it because it has this odd jump. Level 1 to 2 and level 3 to 4 is a 75 damage increase, level 2 to 3 is 100. So for level 2 we get static field to give our Q more of a punch with no mana costs. And while we're on the topic, let's get into what the hell I mean. Let's get into the advanced stuff. Arc Lightning bounces 5 times every wave, has 4 creeps, so on a solo lane you'll have the potential to hit the enemy hero. If it's a dual lane, level Arc Lightning 1 more time. The reason pros level Arc Lightning to level 2 on mid solo lanes is because 3 Arc Lightnings will kill a ranged creep outright, whereas 1 level leaves it in deny range for the enemy. And the reason pub players go 2 in Arc Lightning is because the pros do it. Lightning Bolt has a 750 range, but ground targeting extends that to 1075 if you're hitting a hero. It also hits the closest hero or illusion to the cast point. Lightning Bolt gives True Sight for 5 seconds directly where you target. If you hit a hero, the True Sight doesn't actually follow them. And hey, did you know that Static Field is the worst ability in the game? Yeah, you think it sounds good, right? 10% of their health is damage? Whoa! Well, the joke's on you, because it's their current health. That means you have to have it proc 220 times in a fight just to kill 1 person. Obviously I'm joking, but with that in mind, lead with Arc Lightning, then Lightning Bolt. Leading with the less damaging skill means Static Field deals more damage because they have more health at that point. Thundergods Wrath deals damage, then gives True Sight, so logically it can't damage people you have no vision over. If you're against a Zeus, pop a smoke when you're hobbling home and watch him deal absolutely no damage to you. Why the hell am I giving you tips on how to play against a Zeus in a Zeus guide? What the hell is wrong with me? Thundergod's Wrath deals 168 to 243 to 318 damage after reductions. If you really wanted to cheese your way through a game, you could go into your Dota files and add a little command to the code named Dota Health per vertical marker X. It's cheeky, but it's not a punishable cheat or script or exploit, so go wild. I'll add a little download to the description. Zeus goes mid like a Slark player goes to hell, and by that I mean it's an inevitability. Contesting a level 1 rune's a little risky with your squishy little button short range, but you deal a lot of damage, so go for it. On lane, last hit with Arc Lightning, and take into account that lane creeps have no magic resistance, so you've effectively got an 85 damage attack. No one but Treant can match that level 1. Around the X45 mark, start spamming your Q like crazy to push the lane when your runes spawn. If Zeus's scrolling speed means he can't get to the rune first, just bottle grow. You lose the lane as soon as you can't spam Q, and you can't win your lane in the traditional sense because their mid tower does not go down. But you can get a lot of kills. When teamfights start cropping up, make note of when you're ulting. If in your mind you see ulting at the end of a fight as the best play, take into account the opportunity cost. Strictly on a mathematical standpoint, ulting at the start of a fight would do the most damage with static field proccing on full HP heroes. It would also reveal everyone's position and potentially counter blink dagger initiations. Zeus has a wicked moustache, and he pays for that by having a less than wicked health pool. If you're auto-attacking an enemy, you're far too close to him. In the downtime between fights, act like you're going to support. Go put a ward where you'd normally put a ward, except instead of a ward, it's your W. Against Maranas and Rickies and any hero that initiates with Embers, do the classic edge coast step-step bolt technique when traveling from place to place. With Yules and Arcane Boots, it's totally fine, and what's worse, being dead on full mana or being alive and safe on 20% mana. Zeus can't push a tower at all, but he can make sure his teammates are safe when they do. Stand back during pushes and counter-initiate when anyone who tries to rumble with your carries jumps in. While standing here, I can't help but imagine your carry players as big dumb brutes like the Mountain from Game of Thrones, and we're the guys that keep them alive and on target. If they're pushing and catch sight of a butterfly or fairy dragon in the distance, pull out your metaphorical whip and ping like crazy to keep them from running off. So yeah, Zeus, he's pretty neat. He's also a hero that counters a potentially game-throwing fountain dive near the end by just bursting down every single person in the fountain so your dumb carries can't be baited into wandering in there. So that's it, gents. Good luck and have fun. This guide was brought to you by my pledges. You ready? Christian Rudder, Free Kill, Brandon Kuhn, Matt Masters, Crit Satsu, Pudimon, Apfos, Wooshbar, Spartan Wolf, Pearson, Newborn, Michael Robb, Chet Kanan, Simon, Shadow, Sweetheart, Evil, Motherfucking Jellyfish, Aaron Tang, Jacob Miller, Mobius, Lasse Kvitstad, yeah, I bet you thought I'd pronounce that one wrong, didn't you? HX Light, Leon Stinkt, Snuggly Wuggums, Grumpy Bear, Lord Herbert, Ninny Bottoms, Chestnut, Yabas McGee, Outer Center, Adam Sienna, Tsunami Shadow, Gregulus, Green Leaf Shank, Joy Deludens, Wing, Martin Thoreau, Max of S2D, Shoop John Boone, Milo Code, and Radical Mitchical.